You're really letting me go for giving water to a dog? Sarah's voice cracked, disbelief leaking through every word. She stood in her apron, hand still holding the empty bowl she'd just set outside for a trembling German shepherd tied near the front window. Her manager, Rick, didn't even look up from his clipboard. "This is a business, not a pet shelter," he muttered. "We don't serve animals, and we don't disobey company policy." "You walked out mid-shift. That's abandonment." His voice was dry, robotic, like he'd rehearsed this. The cafe had gone quiet. Customers stared. A couple of waitstaff froze behind the counter, unsure whether to keep working or speak up. But no one did. Not yet. Sarah blinked, trying to make sense of it. Just 10 minutes earlier, she'd spotted a frail-looking man in a wheelchair, clearly a veteran by the ribbons on his cap, struggling to calm his overheated service dog outside. The animal had been panting in the sun, tied to a parking meter, while the man waited for someone to bring his order. So she grabbed a bowl from the kitchen sink, filled it, and took it out. Apparently that was unprofessional. "I'll gather my things," she said softly, fighting the lump in her throat. She'd worked here for 2 years, covered shifts, smiled through rude customers, and this was how it ended. But Rick didn't even wait. "Just leave the apron," he snapped, "and don't come back." As Sarah turned to walk out, a slow murmur rose in the cafe, the sound of something unusual unfolding just outside the windows. Heads began to turn. The bell above the door jingled with an odd rhythm. Boots. 3 men in full marine dress blues stepped inside, then 3 more, then another, 12 in total, rigid posture, decorated chests, stone-cold expressions that could silence gunfire. Rick stepped back immediately, suddenly alert. Can I help you, gentlemen?" The tallest Marine in front, clearly the highest ranking, scanned the room like he was assessing a battlefield. His nameplate read, Turner. His voice, when he spoke, was smooth but cold. "We're here for Sarah Langston." The entire cafe turned to her. Sarah stood still, eyes wide, unsure whether to be terrified or grateful. "Yes," she stammered. Turner gave a slight nod. "Is it true you were fired for helping a service dog in distress? For assisting one of our wounded brothers?" Sarah hesitated. Yes, sir. I didn't mean to cause trouble." "You didn't." Turner's voice turned steel. "They did." He turned to Rick, who now looked like a man regretting everything. "That veteran is Sergeant Daniel Morse, 2 combat tours, Bronze Star. That dog Max saved him from an IED blast in Kandahar. He wouldn't be here without him." Rick opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Sarah offered them humanity. Your response was to strip her of employment. Turner didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. Every syllable carried the weight of 1,000 oaths. A customer stood up, clapping once. Another followed. Within seconds, the entire cafe was on its feet, applauding. Not just Sarah, but the moment. The truth. The courage it took to do something kind when no one else would. Turner reached into his jacket and pulled out a folded paper. He handed it to Sarah. "This is a letter of recommendation, signed by our base commander. If you want a job, you'll have it by the end of the day. If you want a future with us, we'll make it happen." Sarah's lips trembled. She couldn't speak. Her eyes welled up, not from sadness anymore, but from overwhelming validation. Rick tried to step forward, tried to explain himself, but Turner held up one hand without even looking at him. No apology will match the arrogance of firing someone for being decent. Another Marine opened the door. Turner turned to Sarah again. "You don't walk out alone today. You walk out with us." She took off the apron slowly and set it down, then walked toward the Marines. The customers began to part for her like a royal procession. Some reached out to pat her shoulder, others simply nodded, smiling through misty eyes. As she stepped through the door, Rick stood in the middle of a now silent cafe, facing the bitter truth that the person he'd fired was the one person everyone now respected the most. So when the world punishes kindness, it's up to good people, and good warriors, to stand up and remind us what honor looks like. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.